Hey guys, it's Caroline Adams. Hope you're doing well. And today I'm on here to talk about a question I hear a lot, which is something around, do I have to sacrifice my authenticity in order to be successful? And in the spirit of being authentic, I have on my tiger t-shirt, if you can see here. And no, it is not an ode to Tiger King. Tigers are one of my many spirit animals, but probably my most important spirit animal. And just so you know that you're important, this is like my fancy tiger t-shirt. This is the good one I put on for you today. And also in the spirit of authenticity, I have my windows open because I love the spring. I love the way the air smells. And so you might get some authentic sirens and street noise in the background. So here we go with authenticity. So let's dive into this question. And I hope when you heard that question, do I have to sacrifice authenticity for success? I hope you wanted to jump through the monitor and scream, no. I want to be completely authentic and be successful. And I think it's one of those questions that while there might be a really obvious and visceral reaction intellectually, like of course I want to be authentic, and even if we truly believe that we can be authentic and successful at the same time, we are assaulted daily with challenges to that. And case in point, I just read an article, a few weeks ago, but it's a recent article and addressing this very question in a very reputable magazine by people with quotes from people who are eminent in their profession, basically making the argument, I'm paraphrasing, but we live in a man's world, and it was about a young woman who was asking this question, and you could just tell from this article what a vibrant, engaging, kind of up-and-comer in the workplace, and really wanted her work to stand on its own, and at the same time struggling with these older white male superiors who weren't listening to her. And the essence of the article, again, I'm paraphrasing, but was, it's a man's world and sucks that it has to be this way for women, but, you're not really, this is not authenticity, this is impression management. And yes, we need to manage certain things about our person, whether it's how we dress or how we communicate or how we take up space in order to succeed. And I'm sorry, but I respectfully disagree. Now, I think there are some caveats to this, which I will try to make plain. And certainly if you have questions that I don't answer, come back to me. But in essence, of course we get to be authentic. And if it's not enough of an argument for you to be authentic for yourself, because that is the greatest gift that you have to offer the world, I invite you to think about what not being authentic means to the people around you. I know so many of you want to make an impact, right? And so if you imagine how watered down your impact will potentially be, if you're always kind of like tweaking things about who you are and how you present yourself, and I'll just kind of shave off this edge a little bit, and I'll just kind of like not mention this thing that's important to me, or just kind of leave this out of the equation. And number one, that is exhausting when we're constantly pretending. I mean, because that's what it is. It's essentially without, when you're not just fully leading with who you really are, it takes a whole other percentage of your brain that is running everything through this filter. And that's exhausting. And it's watering down your results for the very people that you want to serve. And so here's where we get into one of those nuances. Yes, maybe when you're authentic, if you're in a white shoe law firm and you walk in, I don't even know white shoe law firms to know actually like what kind of tenets or cultures you could break. But let's say you walk in and you do things the exact opposite way of how things are done here. People might not like that. That might rub people the wrong way. It might even, let's go worst case scenario, it might even impact your ability to move up in your career. I hope it doesn't, but we're playing worst case scenario here. Is that the place that you want to be? Is it important enough for you to succeed and manage the expectations and the impressions of these people, that you would water down the best parts of yourself, which, by the way, there are other people out there that are dying for your example, right? People want to see you lead and defy the labels and succeed in a way with humor and creativity and whatever the things are that make you special. They need those role models. They need to see that pattern for success. And I think this outdated, outmoded way of thinking, well, it's the patriarchy, so let's just get through it, and then when we get to the top, we can make a change. I get that, and I don't want to undermine that. It's absolutely why I'm here, and wasn't a second thought that I would go to college or have a career, because of the people that paved the women that paved the way before us. But on the other hand, I know personally, I would be so freaking exhausted if I had to play that game, which I did for a while. Let's not get it twisted. If I had to play that game in order to get to wherever I was going in my career, to be able to say I was successful, I'm not sure I would have the energy at that point, and or not be co-opted by the very kind of ideas that I was at one point rallying against. So I think there's a real question for you to get clear on for yourself. It's that, who do I want to be authentically? And then, I guess, two questions. And then, how does my being authentic actually help other people with what they want to accomplish? And how can this actually, rather than take away from people or rub them the wrong way and focus on that percent of the population, because not everyone's going to love us, let's be honest. Not everyone's going to appreciate our unique way of doing things, but there is a population out there that will, I guarantee it. And so how important is it for you to get in front of them and for them to see your model? So those are the questions that I would leave you with today, and I'd love to know your thoughts.